Hey everyone, welcome to another session of the Basketball Embassy's International Coaches Summit. We have another great session for you today, this afternoon here in America, on dynamic one-on-one and playing without the ball, brought to you by Alessandro Nocera. He is the head coach of the Italy U15 national team. Really bright guy, and I'm just so excited to hear what he has to say on this. I encourage you guys to ask questions in the Q&A at the bottom of your screen. For certain parts of the presentation, we'll have opportunities to stop and talk about, some of those concepts a little bit more in depth. So feel free to enter your questions in throughout the presentation and not just wait till the end. But we will also take some questions at the end if there are any. So without further ado, Coach, thanks so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. It's all you.
Okay, can you hear me, guys? Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I will start my presentation. We will talk today about dynamic 1v1 and play without the ball. Okay. Okay, so who am I? Okay, I'm a professional basketball coach. I worked in several clubs in Italy. I worked in Basket Parma, professional A1 club, where one of the best female players ever played, Cinzia Cooper, and also Yolanda Griffith. Then I moved to one of the best men club in Europe at that time, Montepaschi Siena. Used to go to EuroLeague, and I worked with the youth teams. Then I worked in Stella Azzurra, one of the best youth teams in Europe. So an academy for youth. Then I was the coordinator and in Pallacanestro Trieste, A1 club in Italy, and with a lot of tradition. And then now I'm consultant from AS Monaco in Monte Carlo, in France League. So I work for individual development of player, and I work with youth teams. I'm from 5 years national team coach of Italy, youth teams. I was assistant before of Antonio Bocchino, and now one of the best youth coach in Italy. And now from 2 years I lead my national team. And then I work with Nike, Jordan Brand, and junior NBA events in Europe. But this is less important than why I coach. I coach because for me is in my nature is really important to raise people. It's something inside me. I'm not the coach that coach for himself. I coach to improve the structure, the people close to me. Until I was young, I grew up in a sport family. My father was a soccer player in the south of Italy, and so we growing up doing sport. And so for me, until I was 13 years old, playing basketball and soccer, I was always like the coach inside the team, and I was always try to help my teammates to raise and now my players. And like you see in the photo, I can coach 12 years old in an event, or I can coach the national team of Italy. For me, the concept is the same. I want to raise people, and I want my players to improve. Why we talk today about Dynamic 101? I was going around in Italy making a lot of camps almost 8-10 years ago. And I saw a lot of players very good when they dribble around one cone or when they do 1-against-0 situation with the ball. Okay, between the legs, behind the back, okay. But then when I saw these people, these guys, these players on the court, they didn't look good. They didn't look good like they look when they dribble around the cones. And when they play 1-on-1 or 3-on-3 in the exercise, they look much better when they play 5-on-5. So I start to think about that, about why this happened. And I will study one of the best coach in Italy, maybe in America, he's also famous, is Ettore Messina, that was the assistant coach of San Antonio Spurs, and then Lakers, and before Lakers. And he's one of the best coach in Europe, and also an incredible mind for basketball. As I was studying him a lot, and he always talk about playing dynamic, playing movement. But when I coached my team, I wasn't like satisfied about what I produced, how my players played, and how my team played. But then I was lucky because one day, one of the historical assistant of Ettore Messina, Giorgio Valli, came to my practice, to Stella Azzurra, and stayed 3 days with us. And in these 3 days, I really see the details about this concept. And they really, it's different when you read books. It's always good, but then for us, for coaches, it's very important to, at one point, to stay on the court with a good basketball mind and to have some mentors, and you can see them directly on the court work, and you improve like 10 years of studying book. So in these 3 days, my knowledge, the thing that I studied match with the experience on the court to stay with him. And then I start to understand what playing without the ball and play dynamically really is. And I was lucky because from that moment, my team completely changed. Play without the ball and play dynamically is your players, is the difference between staying on a car and you are not driving. Okay, so when you don't know how to play without the ball, you are not driving, because it's the game that decide what is the game that decide what you can do. You are not like a protagonist. But when you learn how to play without the ball, how to play dynamic, you start to be the driver. So you decide what you want to do with the game. And then I was lucky because I work in national team with amazing coach that play great without the ball, like Antonio Bocchino and Andrea Capobianco. They are still my bosses with national team, and they were great about this concept. And then I developed my knowledge about that, and I start to work more and more on this. The first thing is understand the difference between dynamic 101 and static 101. So now we stop to see the presentation, and I want you to show one video. I want to share with you guys one video that talk about that. 1 second. Okay. Static 101 is this example, is the player that have to create the advantage from zero using the dribble. Okay? So Arden is a master on this, okay? But usually, if all our players can play all in this way, is not what we want for our team. So the player, they don't have advantage, and the player with the ball, you saw now he don't have advantage, has to create the advantage with the dribble, okay? And the other player are watching because they wait for him to create the advantage. But what is dynamic 101? Arden is a master, for example, in 101, static 101. I love him when he play and he create the advantage from Houston using the dribble, but he can also play dynamically. So look this backdoor cut. Play dynamics is what we want from our team, I think. So moving the ball and the players like this, sharing the ball, ready for shot. Everybody touch the ball. This is an example of what playing dynamic means. okay, and play without the ball. And if you want, and if you like this way to play, I want to give you my advices about to have the team that play like the last video that we saw. Okay, first of all, you have to clearly understand the difference between static and dynamic. Static is the situation when we have one player with the ball that have to create the advantage with the dribble, and the other that watch him play. Okay, so the other players watch him play. In my team, sometimes I like static 101, but I put a limit on this situation. But static 101 is not always bad, okay? It's very good when it's in post-up. It's very good when you have a mismatch. It's very good in the last 8 seconds. It's very good when the paint is free. So I use the dribble and I play with the dribble because I can have an easy layup without help. Then let's see what is dynamic 101. So remember the action that we saw before. Dynamic 101 is the situation when moving the ball and the players, we play with an advantage for the player with the ball inside in shot range. Three rules to play dynamic. Catch the ball, not only looking to the passer, peripheral vision, but reading the defense while I'm getting the ball. If the defense gives space shot, when I catch the ball and the defense is not in good balance, I use the dribble to attack hard the basket. So like situation when I fake, I stop the movement on when the defense is late. When I lose the time for taking a shot, or I'm out of my shot range and I have a teammate in a better position, I have to pass the ball, okay? So let's go back to the video so we understand clearly what I mean. Look this action. Now they play for the player moving the balls and the players. They create for this player a shot in his shot range, okay? He's ready to shot, but he passed the ball for a teammate that have a better position. And then he's ready for shot, he goes out of balance, but moving the players and the ball, they arrive to have a better shot, okay? Another situation, here is not, we are in a set, so they want to put the ball in the post, okay, using this screen, okay? So the ball arrives in the post, and now Curry is ready to play a split, okay? But from this situation, moving the players and the ball, he play just not to get the advantage with the dribble, but to play with just the advantage. You see now that Curry is cut into the basket. Now you see he has the advantage to finish, so he play for score. Then they close him and he pass the ball for a player in a better position. And then it's not over. They find the player, again, they move the ball to find the player with the highest advantage. In this case is Curry, okay? So this is playing dynamic. And I think this is the way we want our team play. And then that is more important, we want that our players are able to play in this way. When seeing the video, at the concept we have to work to make our players play dynamically here is to be able to shot or drive like a close-out situation, so that when they have an advantage. Be ready, be able to cut and to finish like in the split situation with Curry, or like in the first action we saw with Boris Dio, to have a deep seal. So we just have we have a deep seal with a great advantage. Why I work on Dynamic 101 with youth teams? Because it's not about playing one system. You can play all the system you want, but what I show you guys now, so the Spurs action, the Warriors action, is not about playing one set. It's playing basketball. It's playing modern basketball. Then, like I said, if you teach to the players to play not my system, but reading this situation, recognize this situation, the players will be able to play for every system. Then, if you are able to play in this way, so shot, attacking closeout, play with the cats, playing, sealing the defense, reading the defense, and be able to pass the ball, you increase your IQ. And so your coach will love you. Every one of us love players that have IQ. When you talk with, every time I talk with senior coaches, with high-level coaches, they search for players that understand basketball. You can be a talent, but if you understand basketball, you go to another level. And then if you can play like this, you increase passing abilities. You know how to pass. And if you talk with these great coaches, they say to you that pass is the most important fundamental to play high-level basketball. And what we saw, when we saw in these days, Last Dance, and how they play, when you saw the videos, how these players pass the ball, why Bill Wennington, why John Butler can play with Michael Jordan, because they can pass the ball. And then the 0.5 rule, the San Antonio Spurs, that when we saw them, we see that they play amazing. They use this rule. And why do they create this problem to the defense? Because the 0.5 rule of Greg Popovich is, in 0.5, you have to make a decision. And to make this decision in 0.5 means that you have to recognize what happened on the court while you get the ball. Not get the ball and then decide. But while you get the ball, you understand the situation and you're ready to shot, drive, pass, or cut. And then this type of play make players, like in the triangle we see, that play inside and outside. So we create player that can play outside of the basket, but also post up. Then let's go back to the video. Before this, we have any question about this?
We do have one question that popped up. How do you implement one-on-one skills that professionals use for the younger or lesser skilled players so that they understand the concept if they don't have the ball skills yet?
Fantastic. If they don't have the ball skills. Mm-hmm. Okay, I will see, okay, I make you see in this. I make you see this that I want to share later, but this is very good question. So thank you for the question. Then we will speak about that I think that when they're super young, they have to work player and the ball. So they have to work with the ball. Usually in my experience, until 13 years old, I work only the player and the ball. I mean, how to create, how to score. I don't care if they don't pass the ball each other. I prefer they play for score because I want to develop them. Then I focus in the team on playing without the ball, with concept, dynamic concept. And then I work in the latest years on screens. But like you saw in this picture, this is me a few years ago working in the night with one player. Because while I play without the ball with the team, I play a lot with the ball in the individual practices. So with the team, I want them to pass the ball. I want them to be focused on the team. But when we work, I work individual. When we work individual, I want them to be able to score in from outside, inside, every time ready to attack the basket. And then when they get older, I like them to work in game situation. So I think to be a complete and high-level players, a really good program for a youth guy need years. It's not something you can do in one season. It's a program you need to develop in several years. Can I go to the video, or we have other questions?
We can go on to the video.
Okay, great. So now I explain to you guys which drills I use to develop this. You will see some videos that I had in some clinics. So it's not all in the end they were my teams, but I have this video, so I use this, but it's not my teams. For example, these very young guys. So how I developed this concept about to play without the ball. This drill is fantastic in my opinion, very simple, but effective. I have one line here, everybody with the ball, one guy without the ball. These cones simulate the position of the defense. So we imagine a defense that is flat, that is open, is flat. So first concept I give to them, don't play, forget the ball. Your goal is not only to get the ball, you have to play for score. So while you're going to get the ball, you have to read using the peripheral vision, where is the defense? And in this case, we simulate a defense that is flat, I have to cut in the front. And then I develop also what I want from the passes. This is not a good pass. I want them to stay low, and I want them to have a lateral pass. Imagine the defense is in front of them. And the rule so is when you see the ball, cut in front of him. And who pass, immediately go. Another concept that is very important is not to go wide, but to take the fastest route to the basket. So if you go in front of him, play with the contact and cut in front of him. I want them to be ready, to have hungry hands every time to call the ball, to be ready to get the ball. Then another situation, every time sprint. So we imagine a defense that is lazy, that is a bit late, sprint to get the ball, okay? And then if you don't see the ball, because now the cones simulating a defense that is denying, you have to use a backdoor cut. And I want the passer to know to do this bounce pass, because probably the end of the defense will be higher, to pass the ball before the help, and so they have an easy level. Then I teach to them the physical work. When we are young, we are able to walk. We always walk forward, but it's very hard. It's hard for us to move laterals. So I think we have to work with them, and it's really something that makes the difference between a good player and a bad player if he can move laterally. So also without the ball, I work in that, and I want them never to have 2 feet on the ground, but if 1 foot is on the ground, the other is pushing with the feet in the direction of the basket, and the shoulder are forwards, and my legs are bending, and I have 1, 2, fast to the basket. This is not a good job. This is better. This is not bad. This is a good job. I want them not to, because the key is not to lose the time. If you have 2 feet on the ground, you are not moving. So the defense understands you are doing something. For me, it's very important. When 1 foot is on the ground, the other is ready to go in the other direction. And also I want them, like Karen in the video, to be ready to do something, and immediately the same concept. 1 foot is going in one direction, and the other foot is ready to go in the other direction, so ready to play. Then I work with them. What happens if I want to cut in front? Then the defense react and have this pass. I want them to be able to have dynamic drivings. So to get the ball and immediately attack the basket. Usually the concept is that 1 foot goes, I don't like this. I don't like this because the pass was late. Also the passer have to know that pass the ball in the right moment. That's why it's important to work on these skills, also to increase their passing abilities. And then you have to have this feet under the ball, the other is ready to attack the basket, and with one dribble we had a great advantage without using so much dribble, but in 0.5 seconds we just have the advantage to play. So we play for score, not to get the ball. Then if the defense is denying and you lose the balance without facing, like you see in this situation, I don't work when we work as a team in triple threat. Because I think in modern basketball, if you use the San Antonio Spurs rule, so 0.5, if you triple threat, it's too late. So I use triple threat in individual development, especially to teach them what they have to do when they have, maybe we are in last 8 seconds, when to play ISO, or when they play facing the post up. But if you want to play fast, if you want to play dynamic, you have to read before. And then I don't know in America, but in Europe, we have the 0-step rule. So this count 0, this step counts 0, this step counts 1, and then I have another step to attack. So play laterally and never 2 feet on the ground. This is not good. I don't want 2 feet on the ground. 1, 2, this was better. This is good. 1, 2, and attack immediately. And then we imagine a defense that give us a shot. So they see this before and they play for the shot. Now these kids are very young, as they are young, so they shot closer to the basket, but they can shot also far. Okay, if I have older guys or guys young but they can play far, they can shot far. If they recognize that the defense is inside, you just go for a shot. And then I use the coach. And guys, the coach knows what he wants his player to improve. So why I put the coach here? Because the coach, if I have a player that don't want to shot and I need him to improve this, I stay inside. So I shot every time. If I have a player that while he's shot, he always shot and you don't read the defense, the closeout, maybe he fake to stay far and then you go to, like this coach did now, to contest the shot. And then they can also play backdoor. So the coach control the games and help them gradually to work on these fundamentals with readings. So it's important before to learn the fundamentals, to have a good basement, and then they have to read this situation. And then I want to go one-on-one. So in the one-on-one situation, I put the defense here. The defense have to touch 5 of the coach. Offense come, get the ball, and then attack the basket. So be ready to have a dynamic driving, and I want them to start to see the position of the defense, because I had one rule. If the defense at one point decide not to get the ball from the coach, but going backdoor, like in the Arden's video, the defense can defense directly. He don't need to touch the 5 of the coach. So what is my goal? I want this guy to start to play looking the defense. And so to make choices while he get the ball, not only looking for the ball, but also looking the defense. And then I can change the position of my hands, and so the player can shot or drive. Same situation. He was in advantage. He recognized, like in the end of situation before of James Harden, and he immediately cut, and he has an easy basket. They have to find a way to score, not only to get the ball, because they play only to get the ball and they are happy. I want them to understand that if they play smart, they can have easy baskets. And if you have 2 backdoor games or cut, you have 4 points, easy. You saw now, he read the defense and he plays backdoor. So let's go forward. So see what we try to understand the rules. So Thompson get the ball, he's ready for shot, the guy is out of balance, and the players are moving, and he continue to play, to attack. He don't play only for get the ball, so he continue to move, and he cut because he want to score. The defense react, and this player move to play inside his shot range, and he's ready to shot. So you can see the rules we are talking before. Now, another team, Houston Rockets. They play a normal situation, Princeton entry, end of situation. Harden read the defense, okay? So Harden, it is one of the best players with the ball. He can play without the ball. And so with this fake, he had advantage to play the pick and roll, and also the roll is like a cut. And then he play for score, he read the defense, and he passed the ball, like we said before in the rules, to a teammate with a better position. Now, Jeremy Lin is ready for shot, but he passed the ball to a player that is ready to attack. And this is very important. Let's see this again. This is very important because the player that is getting the ball, watch this player that is in late, and he recognizes the situation before to get in the ball, and he has a dynamic driving, like we saw before in the drills. And now the center play in the back of the defense for score, and he has an easy layup. So this is the concept I want to work. Play for score, not only for the pass. I get the ball and then I'm happy. So how I create this? Same concept like before. The defense is here, decide to pass the ball to one side, and in this time, so while the ball is moving to the passer, he has the time to play in this space for shot or drive. So then in this case, the defense goes out of balance, he's ready to drive, and he gets an easy basket. Same, this is the key. While the ball is moving, I don't wait, I don't make a V-cut, because I don't need, I just have the advantage, and then I'm ready to shot and to have in 0.5 a decision. The difference is this. When I play for the pass, it's like this. So, simple situation. The ball is moving and I wait. I don't read the situation. And now I start to play with fakes. And now now I'm happy. Now I'm happy, but I have no advantage. I had 6 meters of advantage, 5 meters of advantage, and now I have 0 advantage because the defense is in front of you, in front of me, and if I have a good defender, I will take this shot that is the worst shot in basketball with 23% of efficient. So a mid-range 2-point, contested 2-point. Now the same, like I said, 2 feet on the ground, making fakes, get the ball, and now I stop him, I correct him, because this is not the way you want to play high-level basketball. Another drill, the defense can stay here. So while he passes the ball, the other guy is ready to cut and play with the advantage. Same situation, but look the difference. While he passes the ball, now this guy is not playing, seeing the space. Look at him. He's only looking at the ball. Look, he's only looking at the ball. And now we have the ball, but you have no advantage. What I want is that while he's playing for the ball, see, it's very simple. If the defense, if it is in this space, I can go up and I'm free. If the defense is up, I can cut in the back. So now the defense react, he gets the ball, fake, go. So in 0.5 seconds, he make a good decision. This is the same, ready for shot, the defense respect him, easy basket. Same, and dynamic driving, good, was a good shot, okay? Any question about this?
Doesn't look like we have a question about this right now, but I do encourage people to participate in the Q&A
Yes,
discussion. So.
yes, for sure. We have a question.
One person was just asking about the replays, and
Sure.
I'll address that at the end. But yeah, basically we will have these posted 24 hours after the session concludes, so
Yes.
you have access.
And then I will give at the end my email, so they can text me directly, and I give only the video of the exercises if they need.
Perfect.
Okay, so I go forward, and now we have another situation. So we're talking about pick and roll, not about set, is how high level players play inside the set. Look, now Draymond Green get the ball. He recognizes a small advantage and he attack in the middle. The defense react and he pass the ball. Thompson, he just know, he just recognized that the space is on Stephen Curry, so he passed the ball. Now he's ready for shot, but the defense is out of balance. And so he used the dribble to attack like we saw in the rules, in the 3 rules before. Now again, Thompson just recognized the situation. And now Barbosa, he played, this is very important. In playing for score, it's very important to be able to attack the closeout. Be ready to shot or drive on the closeout situation. So how I work on that? Very simple. Defense, offense, while the ball go, he has one dribble to decide to shot or drive. So I go really simple to the situation they need in the game. So shot or drive, simple. Because then in the game, this happen, I think, 30, 40, 50 times every game. And then, this is another situation. I can work in the same concept more dynamically. So this is the defense, this is the offense. I pass the ball to the coach, and while the ball is going to the coach, the offense can move like in the Curry made a shot like this from the corner in the videos you saw before, and then the defense come back and they play one-on-one. Is more dynamic than the defense we saw before. When instead of the one-on-one we saw before. Same situation. Now, coach has the ball. Coach has the ball. Offense, defense. When the defense go to give I-5 to this coach, the offense can move. So the defense gives I-5, and then he comes back to defense. He goes up, and then they play one-on-one in this dynamic situation. And the same concept is a closeout situation. Is a closeout situation, but now the offense it's a bit harder because it's moving. Is more in movement. And then dynamic play. This is what we want our team to play now. We want them to play dynamic, but it's not only about closeout. Look at this. Now they move the ball. Nelson is very good because he's ready for a shot, and then he drives. Defense collapse, he passed the ball out. Again, sorry. He's ready for a shot and reading the closeout again. So attack, defense back, ball out. Again, you saw how much it is important. It's not about the system or the play, it's how you play inside your play. And then there is a big difference. When the defense is inside, you play outside like this player. But when the defense is playing inside, especially this happens when they play back defense or a stunt, if they don't look at you, it's very important you learn the difference between this closeout, and then you cut the back. So going back to this video, you can see the difference. So now, defense is inside the paint, you shot or drive. Defense, so the paint is full, so you cannot cut. So you shot or drive. Shot or drive. But now this guy is not watching the defense. This happens a lot on weak side. The paint is free. We don't play it staying outside. If I stay outside, I make a gift to the defense. So I cut in the back and I'm ready for an easy basket. How I coach this? Look, drive, pass out, ready for shot. Okay, so the first situation we saw with Nelson. Drive, and now the defense react. So the coach simulating the defense. So or you shot or you drive. Same, you shot or you drive, attacking the closeout. But now it's different. Now the defense, like in the pack line defense, so it's not moving back inside the paint, but attacking the ball like in pack line or in stand or when they want to help from the middle. So if the paint is free, it's very important to cut in the back. And now in this case, the coach is doing every time the same reading, but I use also the coach that can stay outside or inside. So they have to recognize the empty space. Same situation now, 1-1. So the defense is helping outside, they cut in the back. And if the defense, so I go to real situation. If the defense is helping inside, now I have shot or drive. So I work in the real situation, what they need on the court. Then another important situation to play dynamic. Now, rebound, okay. Now they have advantage. They move the ball and the players have the advantage. The player is ready for shot, but the guy is out of balance and this is in a better spot. The teammates is in a better position. So it's the same concept to attack this space, not only with the dribble, but also with the cut. Okay, so the 9 cut, then same concept. Playing for score in the back of the defense and score. So how I create this ability to be ready to cut? I make one player, one-on-one, ball without. One guy with the ball and one guy without the ball. The guy passes the ball to the guy without the ball, and then, you see, is a similar, I want him to be ready to cut. So we play one-on-one with 2 balls. So while he passes the ball, he's immediately ready to cut and work on change of direction and be able to play not for the pass. See the difference? You see this guy? This guy that plays only for the pass, he don't read the situation. He don't recognize that this side is completely full and this side is completely free. You saw he play only for the pass. So now he get the ball here, but now, again, static one-on-one, no advantage. If we have the possibility to play with a bigger advantage to make an easy basket, we have to use that. We must use that. And now I explained to him, if you're close on this side, seal. So play dynamic is cuts, is shot or drive, so attacking the closeout, but is also seal, like in the first clip of Boris Dio. This was the first clip you saw. Now Boris Dio is not going outside then happy to get the ball, but he recognized the defense is closing this space, so it means that the other space is open. And so he sealed, and now he get the big advantage. What they will do later is because of this movement, and now we get the ball inside the smile. So this is an easy layup if they don't double team. And now the team can play with a bigger advantage. Other ideas, so how I can put this all together. I give you an example about what I did with national team. So I was with national team here. So this guy play for get the ball. And while they have to have eyes connection, so this guy have to move, recognize when he's ready to pass, and then work in different situations. So now he's front cut, also work in the technique of pass, so it's also a passing exercises. I can work in a different solutions, so shot, like this. And then I go to 1-on-1. So same situation. I start with 1-on-1, very simple. When this is offense, this is defense, the defense can touch the 3-point line from this side or this side. Why? Because I want him to recognize the space. So while the defense is moving, he immediately attack the space. And I want him to be ready, like in the videos we saw before, to have an easy basket. Because the defense, if the defense closes one door, the other is open. Now, I put also here one sign, one scotch, one tape, so they can choose if they want to go with the feet over the 3-point line. And so the offense have to recognize that the paint is free so they can cut, or they can touch the tape and they can be able to shut or attack a closeout. So I work in all the things I need for Dynamic 101. So now the offense see the ball so he can cut in front and he can have an easy basket. Same situation like before. So while the ball is moving and more difficult, you have to play dynamic while the ball is going. He play for the advantage. So look this dynamic driving, ready for attack and easy basket. Same, ready for shot. The defense go out of balance and you have the small advantage to score. Same situation 2-on-2. So he play without the ball and they have to play together. And then he deny, so the space, they have a free paint, and so we play for the back door, always with the idea to play for score. Same 3-on-3, so I put all together. I have this 1-on-1, I have this 1-on-1 that he will activate if we want to swing the ball instead of driving, and then I have a close-out situation. So if I pass the ball to him, we are in an extra pass situation that we saw a lot in the video before. So I pass the ball to this guy. Okay, no, he cut in front, you don't get the ball, and then they move. They move, now they don't have advantage, but they try, you saw? Now he have to stay more low, there is a technical problem, but he make the right decision to play in the back. And then they play. I want them, you saw this guy was ready to attack, get the advantage, he moved without the ball, and then they have an easy basket. So then, any question now?
Yes, Coach, we've got a couple for you.
Yes, great.
One of them is talking about how, we were talking about spatial awareness. These are really good drills for them to do, but how do we make sure that they're aware of their surroundings once they've passed off the ball?
What do you mean surrounding?
How do we make them aware of like what's around them? Like just increasing their, I guess,
ability,
basketball IQ, as it were, of like knowing where to go.
Yes. In these drills, no, you have different situation of 1-on-1 and 1 against 0 also, because sometimes there are like technical exercises where they work on the pass, when they work on the cut, on the cuts and on the closeout situation. And then I put this situation, and then I like take from the 5-on-5 some real situation of 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. Okay. Then, so for me to improve this IQ, I work on the technique. That is my basement. Then when they know the technique, and also in technique I mean also the footwork, then maybe I work with the physical coach before, or I put some physical drill before the technique to help them to be able to do some technical skills. So before I build the basement, then I put some situation when they have to have technique with a coach that give to them different solution for score, but also for the passer that have to recognize what is happening with his teammate, simulating a situation where he cannot score. And third, I create situation of 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, when I have to verify, they have to verify in the game what we we worked before. And then there is the last part that is the 5-on-5. So in the 5-on-5, I correct, I stop, and I make them repeat and understand the situation when they made a mistake, linked to what we worked. Or I say to them, very good, when they do a good decision. Or inside the 5-on-5, I give them points. 1 point if you score playing dynamic. Or I use the technical whistle. I mean, if they don't play dynamic, for example, one day, if they play static, turnover. And that is something you build with time. It's something, I think play dynamic, it means play smart. Like play without the ball, because you have to recognize the defense before you're getting the ball. So it's our dream, but it's something you have to build, and you have to believe in that. And maybe at the start is difficult, but then, in my experience, it then works. If I had to I share one story. When I was with Stella Azzurra, we won the national championship of Italy. I had a very talented team. So I have 5 players. One was national team of Bosnia, one was national team of Serbia, 3 were national team of Italy. So a lot of talent. So they were able to create. And I spent time to work in dynamic 1-on-1. So at the start was not easy, but we started in August. When I arrived in January, they play like this. And what was good is that when they played also because they were under 15, but they played also under 17. When they went with the higher team, so played with screens, pick and rolls, with more like set, like senior set or college set, they played better. Because the dynamic 101, like we saw in the video, is the basement of screens. Or because every pick and roll situation, when the ball arrives to the spawn, you have a closeout. You have a 2-on-2 on this side with a small advantage. If you know how to play this situation, you are a good player and a good player, team player. If not, I think at some level you had a lot of difficulty. I don't know if I answered correctly. If not, the coach can write again, so I can go deeply.
Okay, yeah, definitely. And I think you did answer that one perfectly well. So you're getting a lot of compliments on the drills that you have. One person asked, especially like the one-on-one drills, do you do similar drills for 2-on-2? Do you do them basically the exact same? Or do they change significantly when you switch to 2-on-2?
No, now I want to show something on that, but I want to show another progression, because in the 2-on-2, I take situation from the game. So when you saw my 1-on-1, there is always a passer. So this passer can become the 2-on-2. Or then I can invent another situation. But it's not about the drills. I think you watch the game, and from the game you see what you need, and then you put on the court. And you start from 1 against 0, and you develop the situation from 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5, for example. I'll show you something, because I go back to the presentation. No? There are any question, or can I go forward?
No other questions. A couple people are asking if they can get those drills through email, if they can reach out to you.
For sure. I maybe, because then every time is bad to doing at the end. Just I want to. I don't know how to. I wanted to write, but I cannot open this. Okay, I wanted to write my email, but I cannot on the, okay, I will write later. So going back to the presentation, we go back to this, no? So it's important to do all the things I showed before. If you cannot shoot, so if you don't work individual, if you don't work in the evenings with the players, if they cannot shoot, doesn't work. So if they cannot get the ball, play with the contact and score, so if they don't have individual, if they don't have scoring abilities, all these drills doesn't work. All these, because also the players we saw in the videos, they look good because they can score. So they have technical ability. So don't fall in love with systems and only with cuts or playing smart. This is something that you can build if you, on the other side, you work a lot with the players to be able to score and to have technical abilities. Then, so never static 101, I want static 101. Okay, I want static 101, but I want a balance. I want to attack with 5 players at the same time. So I want to show you some exercise to find a good balance between dynamic 101 and static 101, and then some games situation of my team of last year. So how to have a balance between dynamic 101 and static 101. So this guy coming with the dribble to the chair. Now this guy is not looking to the basket. So this player recognizes the situation and then they work like the exercise before. So dynamic driving, and then now this is a floater. So I work in dynamic driving and floater. Now he recognizes this situation, so immediately attack the basket, and he recognizes the defense. So while he gets the ball, he has to recognize that. Then different, so always the coach give the solutions, and now we have to cut in front. So I work in cuts, and also in this pass from dribble. Then the defense is far, so we work on the shot or drive. For example, this guy was not able to shot, I want him to shot in the practice. Shot or drive. Okay, so same situation, and now the coach gives all the solutions. He can make them cut, he can make them shot. So the same drill like before, but there is a big difference. And now you will understand which is this difference. This guy is coming and he's looking for the pass, okay? And I work in all the technique I want from my team. Then, this is the big difference. Now, it's the same drill, but I add one player on the weak side of low post, and then you don't see the other player that is running like before. But now this player is not looking the teammates, but is looking the basket. So I want him also to be able to drive. This is a static 101. So he's coming with the ball and he immediately attack the basket to score. And now, like we saw in the video before, you have to be able to play without the ball. And so, like to have an easy basket, so he's spacing, and then they want them to be able to continue to play. So the coach has another ball, pass out, and now we continue. So like we saw in the carry, this is the carry situation he used before when he shot. So the guy is ready to drive, pass out, shot, and then look. Always I want them to be ready to play for the offensive rebound. Same situation, he's not looking the pass. He work and he reacts. He see that and he reacts. So he work, he space, dish in, and then they continue to play. And now look, he shot and they are ready for offensive rebound. Now, different situation. We are in 3. Now we have 3 points. We have 3 players outside. This is the action of before. 3 players now. He's looking the guy. So the guy, he's going to get the ball. So he recognized. This is important that the guy recognize the situation. And the guy now that is running is going to stretch the floor. And now he's ready to drive, and we imagine a pack defense. So the coach, if there is a space in the back, we play with the cat, the ghost cat. And look at him. He's ready with this back, with this cat. He's ready for the defense collapse. And this happened in the video we saw before, to have a pass from him. So we simulate this pass with the coach that's used the second ball. So he scored, and then I want them to be ready always for offensive rebound. Look this guy. So I want to get the offensive rhythm. So every time to be active and understand the game. So no bounce of the ball, get the rebound and score. And again, he don't watch off the basket. So he come from the ball, he attack. Now I'm inside. So the coach is inside, the space is outside. So he recognized the space and is ready to shut. And then always play for offensive rebound. So before going to game situation, I want to show you how then I build this on situation like real of 1-on-1, 3-on-3. I don't have video, sorry, so I have to draw really quickly. So this is the paint. So this is the paint, okay? We imagine, sorry, big, but with this, it's not a great drawing with this zoom, but it's okay. So I play 1-on-1 here. So same situation like in the drill. Then, like before, I put one guy here and one defense here. And then it's the same. This guy play 1-on-1 because I want them to be aggressive. I don't want them to play only for the passes. I want them every time to be ready for score. So he play 1-on-1, and then then there's the difference. I beat the defense, so he will help. And so he play without the ball, outside, or in another space, I don't care. He play for score in a space where it's free. Different is, so we are back to this situation, if the guy try to beat the defense, but the defense stay in front. So in this case, the guy recognize the situation, change direction, and then we are back to the situation of the drill. So then he have to create, change his speed, maybe go slow and then fast to have this small advantage when he get the ball and this pass. So now we drive, and then the same, you have to move. Then this is 2-on-2. Or I can do also 2-on-2 in another way. I can put this guy here. And so we have it in the situation of the drill. So this guy, if he beat the man, help, he's ready to score, he's ready to play in the back. I like the answer of before. You have to be able to score, and if the defense is in front, to make a good pass in a game situation. And then it's the same. If you don't manage to beat him, you have to be ready to make now a V-cut or an auto screen to get the ball, and then we play moving the ball. Then I can add another player, so we go to the 3-on-3. And this is the same situation. He can play 1-on-1. If you beat the man, he will help, he will play, maybe he will help the helper, he have to play outside to get the pass outside for a shot or drive. Or no advantage, defense is in front. So he go outside and maybe he can seal like Dio and play a triangle. Or maybe he can go outside. So then the coach has the control and make them understand what they have to do. Okay, so this is not like a plays. This is how to play inside every play. How to play basketball. This difference. Any question before I go to the game situation?
I don't think so right now, Coach.
Okay, so I want to show you guys in reality what then happened. Huh? This was my team under 16 of Trieste, not this year but the year before. And you can see, you can recognize this situation in 5-on-5. So this guy is aggressive to attack the basket. This guy, like we saw in the exercise before, is ready for the offensive rebound and to space. And then floater, like we saw in the drill before. Again, this guy attack, this guy playing the back, easy basket. So see the free guy. And now we are in a closeout situation. This guy, trust me, is not a talented guy. But you can recognize that working hard in the concept we talked before, this guy can play. This is high-level youth game in Italy, and he can have a dynamic driving, recognize the situation, and then he play against a bigger guy, but he used the floater. He has technique, and he can score. We move the ball. We play static 101 also, so we are aggressive. And now he play again with the floater, but this guy, he playing the back, he's ready for an assist, like in the videos of the dunks of the big men in NBA, same situation. But also the guy with the ball is ready to play with the individual development to another time to floater and to finish. Another drive, another cut in the back, an easy basket. Then another game, driving, the paint is closed, he's ready for shot, extra pass, ready for shot, a lot of individual workout, reading the closeout, score. And this is the same situation we saw in NBA games. It's the same. They are under 16 of Italy, but the game of basketball is this. Driving, attacking, he's helping, he playing the back. He play for score, not forget the ball outside of the paint. He read that the paint is free. Then where is an Iverson cut situation? So not a free situation or a summertime. He immediately in 0.5 drive, and he's ready to play one-on-one, also static. Start dynamic and then static. So we recognize, we find the guy, you saw the guy move the ball, swing the ball, and then we are ready with the individual ability to score. Moving the ball, and again, ready for shot. Really simple. Moving the ball, and the players, like we saw in the rules, we just play with an advantage. So driving, pass to the ball to have a guy just with an advantage that can shot. Again, you saw the 0.5, we make decision. The ball is moving fast and the defense is not ready to defense because we stay with the advantage. You saw driving, you saw moving the ball and the players. 0.5, he just decided to drive like in the drill. He just decided to pass the ball. He decided before that he was ready to shot. And we were facing the first team, not the team that was in defense, was the first team. Again, moving the ball, ready to drive. And now again, ready for shot. The guys go out of balance, attack, and again, one step finish to anticipate. You see moving fast. You know the ball is moving fast. Everybody's ready for shot. And this we create with all the drills you saw. Again, ball in, ball out, ready. So the guys, they just know they have to shot because we train this a lot in the drills you saw. Again, moving the players and the ball. The ball, you saw, he's not watching. He's not triple threat. He just recognized there is a guy free in the corner and we are ready to score. Drive, kick out, extra pass, ready for, and they just know. And then you saw our playmaker taking so the advantages we had, we missed the shot, we are ready offensive rebound. So we always ready to play. And also attack, you saw, without stopping, every time ready to attack, drive or shot, playing modern basketball. So these guys are the concept I wanted to share with you. And if there are any questions, I'm here to answer and to talk about this.
Yeah, Coach, I think all of the questions, you did such a good job explaining everything throughout. No one has any more questions.
Yes, yes.
But the only other thing, I guess, would just be the contact information, and then also
Yes.
if you're on social media or anything.
Maybe tell me if you can, I will put, also because now I'm working a lot, because today I talked a lot about Dynamic 101, so about, that is something linked a lot of team concept, but I'm also specialized in development of players, because like you saw in the video, is not also only about the concept.
Right.
At the end you have to score, you have to create, no?
Mm-hmm.
And then so on Instagram I have a lot of drills, a lot of, also I put some, I'm doing individual training online, so they can find a lot of example of my exercises. Can you see now the text I put or not? Or
Not right now. We just see you.
so you don't see in the chat my answer?
No, because I don't think we actually have chat turned on for this clinic. But you know,
Can you write maybe my email?
so we don't have a place to write it. What I can do is let me think. We might be able to just share it on.
I can do.
What's that?
Maybe I can do this. 1 second. I can use my screen.
Oh, a couple of people said that they can see it, so maybe it's just me. They can. So maybe it's just me that can't see it. Yeah.
Okay, maybe just to be sure, because I like to, if they have question or something like that, I think it's something I really like to share to talk also about basketball, something like this. Mm-hmm. So I can share to them.
There we go.
They can see?
Perfect, yeah.
Sorry, this. So they can find me on Instagram, or they can text me everything. And again, I told you before, Zach, but really thank you for what you are doing in this crazy period with these clinics. You are making our life a bit better in these crazy times. And I think all these ideas that we are learning from all around the world make us better coaches. So I want to thank you for the invitation to talk in this webinar. I'm really proud of that. And for anything you need, and we keep in touch. And also the guys, just email me, and I will give drills on. We can exchange ideas and everything.
Absolutely. And yeah, Coach, thank you so much. You know, it's people like you who make all of this possible. So we really appreciate you coming on and giving some of your time to us. And thank you for sharing that contact info for everyone. Hopefully it's been up long enough for everyone to jot it down really quick. Yeah, we hope to have you again sometime soon, Coach. Thanks so much.
Yes, thank you to you guys. Have a nice time.
Out there.
Bye-bye. Bye.